Hello and welcome to another episode of the Goth and the Sloth. I am your Sloth, Matt.
And I am Luna the Goth.
This is the podcast of two friends living a country apart, living our best lives, and seeing what we get into.
Hooray!
And we decided for the first part of our podcast we would spend time discussing the COVID-19 pandemic and how it affects everything, how it affects our daily lives, your daily lives, and how it affects the entire world.
Yep. Yeah. And we're back to a normal episode. You probably would have seen a quote unquote very special episode come out recently, but we're back to our regular format. So yeah.
So welcome back. How you doing?
Eh.
I think that's about as good as anyone can do right now.
Yep. Yep. Just uh-huh. What about you?
Uh, yeah, about the same. Can
Cool.
admit.
Cool. We're just all surviving.
Yeah,
But like this is a different than at the beginning of the podcast.
yeah,
Because at the beginning of the podcast we were also like but that feels like a whole different world than where we're at right now.
yeah, absolutely. In
So
2 to 3 weeks, it has completely changed the landscape.
yes, absolutely. And who knows what another month from now will look like, or even 8 weeks from now. I think is going to be really telling, given that trends and whether or not places will have a second wave. um, I think there's just so much to be determined with the factor of time. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah. Well, let's get into it. So, what's going on in the greater Virginia area lately?
So in Virginia, we currently have 53,869 cases, 5,511 hospitalizations, and about 1,541 deaths. Um, so obviously, like, still going up, but at a much slower rate for sure. We are in phase two of reopening as a state. So that means that you need a mask to be in public space, or not public, to go into a business. There are all these signs, clear signs, that's also part of phase two, that you need a mask to be places. Physical distancing, limited occupancy, encouraged teleworking, limiting in-person work-related gatherings, all the usual stuff. Um, but it's restaurants are basically able to be open again, but with the physical distancing and lower occupancy. Um, my studio, we're looking at reopening not next week, but the following week. So that will be very interesting considering that, like, it's a very physical sport and we can't share apparatuses anymore and we have to sanitize, and like there's this whole plan that sounds pretty cool, but I'll be trained in it more in this next week. Um, but I mean, fingers crossed I'll be able to be back in the air in a couple weeks. So,
Yeah, are you excited
uh,
to do a drop for the first time in a long time?
oh my God, I don't think I'm excited to do anything right now. My body was gonna be like, what? Why?
We're moving again? Why are we moving again?
I mean, I personally am excited to do a drop again, but I think maybe I might need to ease back into climbing things regularly again. I know it's gonna hurt so bad getting back into it, but I need it, so that should be good.
If you missed our first episode, Luna is very into aerial dance and is an instructor and is very awesome at it. Just in case that conversation sounds very confusing to people just tuning in.
Yeah, I guess I forget that that's like not common knowledge, I suppose. But yeah, yeah, it's my jam. It's and we were, man, I'm still mad that I had this really awesome piece choreographed that me and two of the other instructors were going to be performing um, at a show, and like we're all professional level aerialists, and like I choreographed it really hard because I'm me and I don't like myself, I guess. And then the state shut down the day before the performance.
Oh
And now
no.
I'm like, I try to look back at that choreography and I'm like, I don't know if my body can do that anymore. So we'll see.
We will see.
Yeah. What about Colorado?
So we are looking a bit better than you. It sounds like, but not that it's a
Dang.
not that it's a competition, but
It's a competition. No, I'm
it
just
is.
kidding. It's
Uh,
not a
so
competition.
so we're at 28,822 cases, which is up 1,000 from the previous week. Which I did, even though we didn't do numbers last week, I kept those numbers on a going tally. We're at 5,214 hospitalizations. That's again up 1,000 from the previous week. And we are at 1,348 deaths, which is up 93 people from last week. But on the good side of all that is, I guess it would have been 2 weeks ago now. We had 2 days in a row where no one died. And
Oh.
this last Sunday was another Sunday where no one died.
Oh, that's good.
So we're seeing
Yay.
bits and bits and pieces of hope popping in and out. So
Is that so that's the state of Colorado and not Denver Metro?
right, yeah, the state of Colorado.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like Colorado, at least in the Denver metro area, people are pretty good about following rules.
Yeah,
Everyone's lawful there. Lawful
I
something,
mean
whatever it
we
is that they're
try
doing.
to be, but you never know.
I just feel like, yeah, the Colorado culture is a bit more lawful than a lot of other places, it feels like. And here, I mean, people aren't lawful, but people do, for the most part, consider the virus a real threat. So you see a lot of masks, you see people in stores with, gloves, even though gloves are basically spreading tools, but um, but like you see so many people out and about with masks on, including at protests. It's really interesting that
Yeah.
at protests there are so many masks. Um, but then uh, I recently had to drive down to South Carolina to meet my parents. And on that drive, it was like a gradient going down, I guess, of like Virginia was like masks everywhere. You have to have a mask to go in. And then as soon as we hit North Carolina, we saw less of it. And then once we were in South Carolina, it was like just the Wild West. Like it was nothing. There were no masks in sight. And then, driving back up, it was funny because like we got used to going, pumping gas and like not like freaking out about getting the mask on as you get out of the car and stuff like that. Um, and then we got to Virginia where we're like, oh God, yeah, mask pressure. Like it's really
It
interesting,
is.
and Virginia's not even great at it. So,
Yeah.
but we'll see. I mean, I saw a report that a list of states that what do you call it? They are at high risk for a second wave,
Mm-hmm.
and both North and South Carolina were on that list. So
Yeah.
we'll
Only
see.
yeah, only begs to differ. Another bit of good news too is I'm just looking at the graph here from the Colorado Health, and our peak day was in total deaths was April 13th, and that was 40 deaths in one day due to COVID. And relate that to the last time they posted was June 10th, which was 3.
Oh,
And
good.
so I mean, there's still cases and it's still dangerous, but we are
Of
seeing a
course.
curve down, and I think I
Yeah,
like to
the
be
good
hopeful.
part is that the curve is going down, not that people died. Just to
Yes.
clarify.
Now the cases reported is still pretty up and down, but I think it's good to see that not as many people that get it are dying. They're
Yeah.
getting a
Yeah.
handle on it. The hospitals have room. We have we have free testing centers all over the place. I know the Pepsi Center is a big one, and people are saying it's like 5 to 10 minute wait, if even that.
Oh,
And they're not
wow.
using the brain scooper testing anymore. It's just a regular Q-tip in your nose.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
it's less
cool.
scary and it's free. It does take 3 to 4 days to get the results back, so it's still a bit behind on that. But I think that's
Yeah,
all good.
but it's still better than where we
Oh,
were.
absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm going to take this moment to encourage anyone who has been protesting. First of all, thank you. Second of all, please get tested because that's how you're going to be able to identify whether or not you are a risk to the people around you. And if you test positive, don't go to a protest. Don't go anywhere.
Yep.
Quarantine. That is still a thing that we need to do.
It is.
But yeah, it's just important to keep the virus in mind, but this is also not a time to sit on your laurels if there's a reason that you feel you need to be in the streets.
Yeah.
So,
So for like restaurants and all that, we've been at like capacity. They haven't really changed much. Not at capacity, but we've been at you know half capacity in restaurants
mm,
and kind of still in that phase that you guys just entered. So we're still kind
hmm
of waiting. Nothing's really changed rule wise. So we're still just
cool.
kind of waiting and seeing. And the one bit of news I saw was interesting is the World Health Organization said results are inconclusive on asymptomatic people being able to spread the virus. Doesn't mean they can't, it just means they don't have enough proof to say 100% that they can.
Oh, interesting. I saw something like that, and then I saw someone else walking it back really fast, and I don't remember. I was obviously distracted, but I don't remember who said it and who was walking it back.
Yeah,
Um,
I saw that too, and I think it was a World Health person. They weren't necessarily walking it back as much as like, this doesn't mean they can't. It means we don't have data to
okay.
prove the
Oh, right.
positive.
It was Dr. Fauci.
Yeah.
He was yelling at them for saying that. And then yeah, somebody had to release an additional statement. So,
I mean,
yeah, look it up.
I mean, it's America where we go. Oh, the results are inconclusive. Okay, that means we can do whatever we want.
Well,
It's
they said
like
that before when results were conclusive, they were like, "We can do whatever we
this is
want."
also
So,
true. So what's
yeah.
going on with you in your personal life? What's new with you?
Other than I mentioned I went down to meet my parents, I traded my dog off to them, which is horribly sad. If those of you that know Banna, she's the best and speaks in circles.
Yep.
Um, and she's such a good girl. And, um, I was having a lot of panic attacks and I've been really nervous about being able to walk outside with her. I felt very vulnerable. I don't necessarily feel safe in my neighborhood, so I decided to meet up with my parents and let them take their grand dog for a little while. And they have a nice big yard and they love her and they live, it's just them. So I think that it's going to be a really good thing for everyone. Um,
Yeah.
so I think that was a good call. I do like as much as I miss her, I'm thankful that I don't have to walk outside with her multiple times a day by myself. Um, but it still sucks.
Yeah. It was a hard
So
choice, but
yeah.
that was a good choice to make.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to do that, and just like keep her happy and you know, yeah, all of that. So yeah, that's it. I mean, life goes on, protests continue. Um, President still absolutely shocks me,
Yep.
even though he shouldn't, but he finds new ways. Uh, he just, well, he and his administration just pretty much revoked some rights. That's not the right words, but made it more difficult for transgender individuals to receive medical care,
Yep.
or made it easier for people to refuse medical care to the transgender community.
Yeah.
And it was on. the anniversary of the Pulse shooting in Orlando, and in June, Pride Month.
Yep.
It's just like, how, how? Oh, and also while I'm here, um, the uh, the Robert Fuller case in Palmdale, California, it's like the two things on my mind every day is like the cops that killed Breonna Taylor
Hmm.
and Robert Fuller's autopsy. Because if he got lynched, we need answers. And like, yeah, it's just, more of the same, I guess. So that's my personal world. What about you?
The band is doing their thing. And yeah, I've been keeping up to date on all the protests and um, all that fun
You just
stuff.
went to a
I
protest.
did. I went last Saturday and I went yesterday. And yeah, Denver's been decently peaceful, although Thursday night, even though there's a ban on tear gas, they tear gas people. So that's fun.
What?
Yeah.
Why? How did they get around that? Like, I know that they banned it, so why did they
I
do
I
it?
don't know. Honestly, I found out about it last night and haven't had a chance to really dive into it, but yeah, that's the thing that happened.
Interesting. I mean, I think it should be outlawed everywhere, but
Oh yeah, considering it's outlawed in war, you'd think it'd be outlawed in America, but
yeah. And I just listened to um, uh, the podcast Science Versus, and they talked about the impact of tear gas in regards to like uh, the virus and just what it does to your body, and it's just it's cruel.
it is. There was a protester that died specifically due to tear gas.
Yeah, I saw that in Columbus,
Yep,
Ohio. Yeah, it's just anyway, it's
it's
crazy.
horrible. But let's look on the bright side and get into our main subject for today.
Yeah.
Let's try and bring some hope into everything.
So this week we decided to keep it light as much as we could after we just talk about some awful things. Um, and we're going to talk about what we want to do when the COVID pandemic is over. So, like, what we've been looking forward to. And we're going to mention, or at least I have like a few things that I want to do like right away, and then I have like a big thing that I probably wouldn't even like. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to do it without the COVID pandemic, um, but yeah. So just kind of looking to the future and looking towards brighter days, because sometimes that's what we got to do to get through it all.
Yeah. So, yeah, what's one of the things you want to do right away, and how would it maybe look different?
So one of the things I want to do right away is like dinner and a movie with my
Yeah.
partner. Like that's it's such like a trope. Like it's such an American trope. Like like let's do dinner and a movie. But like it's so mundane, and I never would have thought about it ever. But I want to do that. I want to be able to go to a restaurant, hang out, stuff myself full of delicious food, and then roll myself to a cinema, tell myself I can't handle all that popcorn, buy the popcorn anyway, finish the popcorn while I watch a movie. Well, finish the popcorn in like the credits of
Right.
the movie and the previews. Um, yeah, just like it's so great. I don't know.
Comforting.
It's yeah. I just love going to the movies and just it I don't care about the other people. I don't really it could be an empty theater and an empty restaurant. But I just want to be able to go.
Yeah.
Um yeah, so
Y-
that's one thing that's like as soon as I can, I'm probably gonna be like, let's do it.
Yeah, that's a big one for me too. Like, I never thought I would miss Maria Menounos, uh, but yeah, I would love to hear that. I'd love to sit there with the stupid, like, put your phone up to the screen now and play along with whatever stupid game. Like
Yeah, I don't miss that, but I'm happy for
I
you that
mean,
you've
I don't
gone.
miss it like I miss it, but I was like, that would be a great thing to hear at the moment, though, because it means you're in a movie.
For me, hearing the movie makes me feel like I'm in a movie. But yeah, oh gosh, anytime she's like, let's, download the Nuvie app. And I'm like, okay, okay, no,
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 I'm not going
no.
to. You can't make me.
You can't make me stop it. I just want normal pre-movie things. Or like the Alamo, where they play
They do
nonsense.
play nonsense. That relates to the movie slightly, and it's great.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
There have been a couple movies I've gone to where I'm like, this has nothing to do with this movie. Like, saying that there is a woman in this movie and a woman in these clips is not enough of a correlation.
But yeah, I miss just sitting in the theater, and obviously I think they'll come back, obviously, but it makes me sad that if they don't ever come back, that the last movie I saw was Bloodshot with Vin Diesel.
Whoa. You saw
I
that?
did. It's a comic movie. I'm gonna see it.
Huh, alright. I think the last movie I saw was Jumanji umpteenth or
Oh,
whatever.
three Manji.
Be-
No, four Manji.
Sure.
There's
I don't
there's
know.
four
Yeah, I think
Manjis.
it was the fourth one. But like I I didn't want to see it at all, and because I haven't seen like any of them literally. And so I was like, I don't know. And then it was like either that or like a really serious drama. And we weren't in the mood for a serious drama. So we were like, let's just check it out. And then we ended up really liking it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was a bizarre experience, but not what I would expect to be my last movie ever if the cinemas don't reopen.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the Wednesdays at Milk Bar.
Yeah.
So
Goth Club.
yeah, and in Colorado, Wednesdays at Milk Bar is Goth Night with $2 wells, and it's fantastic.
You know what? I just realized I barely ever drink on Wednesday nights, like when I was there.
Yeah.
I think it was because I was usually going alone, and it was a later, or I'm sorry, I would leave like just past midnight or one.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
I had no idea what the drink special was.
I know that because one time it fell on my birthday, and everyone kept buying me drinks. I
Yay!
had to leave my car there, get an Uber, and then Uber back the next day and get my car.
That's responsible. It's a responsible thing to do, and I'm proud of you.
But yeah, that's the main thing, or a big thing I'm missing is, yeah, just going out dancing, getting with the community, even just sitting back and having a drink and just, being around people. And I think that's going to be one of the longer things it's going to take to open back up is dance clubs.
Yeah, there's a lot of breathing on each other and sweating and hot
Yeah.
mist.
Yeah, and the goth room at the Milk Bar is very small too. Well, all the rooms are decently small, but
Yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty small. But yeah, actually that was my next one as well, was going dancing at Fallout. Like yeah, it's both dancing at Fallout and seeing a live show
yeah,
because it's even if there's a live show there, you're probably gonna dance, whatever. But just that it's not even that I mean, right now I'm like building community here in Richmond, so I do actually want to talk to people. It's a smaller community, it's easier to kind of plug in and like uh feel like a more active part of the community. Denver's
hmm
so big where it's like you're either part of, you're like, it's all like little groups.
yeah,
um but like there's no like family for the everybody,
sure, yeah,
um but yeah, so like I'm still plugging in. So it's like I still want to hang out with these people. I still want to continue to get to know them. I want to do my spooky dancing. I want to dance in the cage. I want to I want to I don't feel like dressing up right now, but I would. And then yeah, like a live show, hanging out, like standing next to your friends and like cheering on your friends on the stage because it's usually a friend.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, I
good
don't.
stuff.
Yeah, that's yeah. Live shows is another like. How does that come back? Except for full force when everything's over, basically.
Right. Yeah, I think that live shows and dancing, I think those are both 2021 things.
Yeah,
I almost don't feel like we're going to see too many at the end of this year. We might see some, but
yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a regular thing until next year.
There are some secret shows in Colorado that are going on with live
Mm.
bands, but it's kind of like an enter at your own risk kind of thing. And they don't tell you where it's at until like right before, and it's kind of a
That's kind of
thing.
cool.
It
Like little
is,
pop-ups.
yeah. Although it could be dangerous though too. So
Oh, totally. I mean, yeah. But like the president's holding a ginormous rally in an indoor arena next Friday. Like setting the
yeah,
example. I guess he doesn't like his followers, but there was a disclaimer on the ticket where it's like if you attend or whatever, then you're basically signing off liability if you get sick from the coronavirus. You can't sue Trump.
I mean that's fine for a lawsuit, but that doesn't help the world to just have a giant petri dish to your
We do
ego.
you know who we're talking about here?
Yep,
But yeah, I saw. Did you watch the new Dave Chappelle
I didn't.
thing? But it looked like they were all social distanced. Like all there were like two little chairs and then like a bunch of space and then two other chairs and yeah, it was
Huh?
interesting. So
Yeah,
maybe I don't know.
we'll see. Like I don't know, concerts that I go to don't really have that option to social distance per se, unless you're gonna
Yeah,
sell half the tickets, and then it's just gonna look
but
sad.
but everyone's gonna crowd closer to the stage
Exactly.
anyway,
Yeah.
so it doesn't really matter. Interesting. But yeah, that I also had that go dancing live show
Yeah. I want to
like
play
that.
a live show because we're doing our streams and they're fun, but there's definitely a missed community, missed feedback from the audience.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not the same.
yeah. I could definitely tell. I've been watching a lot of streams, and it's hard as well for me. I'm like, woo, clap emoji. Like, what? How do you celebrate? Like on Twitch, I just go wild with emojis, but it's hard. You're not
Yeah.
hearing the feedback of the crowd. So,
Yeah, that's a hard one. You got any other ones that you're
the I want to go to King's Dominion like as soon as possible. As soon as it reopens, I want to be on a roller coaster.
Oh, it's a theme park. I gotcha.
Yes, yes, yes. It's a theme park just north of Richmond. I also want to go to Busch Gardens, but it's much more expensive, and I have a season pass to King's Dominion,
Nice.
and so I just want to, like, as soon as it reopens, I just want to throw myself into a coaster and let it take me away.
That does sound really fun.
Yeah, yeah, and I just wonder when that. I mean, I'm obviously not interested in going until the fall anyway because it's gonna be ridiculously hot. But um, I just wonder like when that is gonna. Because I feel like you can theme park relatively safely.
I
Like,
think you could if you had like if they put out like standing spots essentially in the line where like
oh wait, no, a lot of screaming happens on, and then everyone behind you
oh
gets
I
your
suppose yeah.
like COVID scream.
I suppose that is true.
So maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be
Maybe
able
one person per ride.
I don't know if I'll be able to fit into a roller coaster
Oh
once
my
the
gosh.
quarantine is over.
So true. God, I'm like a marshmallow, but chocolate. I'm a chocolate marshmallow.
I put on jeans for the protest, and it was hard.
Oh, yeah, I need to. Yeah, I think, oh, I guess, well, I was gonna put this, but I was on the fence about it. I want to go for like a run or like a nice long hike. Um, there's nothing stopping me from doing that now per se, except for the fear of rogue racists. So that's not really a COVID thing, but um,
Yeah, I don't know how
yeah.
soon that might be a 2030 thing.
I know. I don't know when when am I gonna feel comfortable walking my dog again? Like, first that, then maybe go for a run, but also running while black is dangerous. So who knows? I don't know, but I really want to do that like ASAP. What I might do instead is go like kayaking,
Okay.
like flat water kayaking, because that seems relatively safe. Like, disinfect the boat, it's just you
Yeah.
out on the water. You can't really be closer than 10 feet to anyone anyway.
Yeah.
And paddle around to my heart's content.
Kayaks freak me out
What? Why?
because you're like strapped in there, and they can flip upside down, and then you die.
You're not strapped in. That's only like what do you call what are those kayaks called? I don't know. There's a certain type of I know which one you're thinking of. It's the one where it's like closed over your legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. That's not the type of kayak that I'm talking about. I am very free and free to move around. I don't because I don't want to fall over, but
That's fair.
yes,
Oh,
so fun.
what about, because it is the time for it, Ren Fair?
Ooh. What are they gonna do?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything, to be honest, but it is outdoors. At least Colorado's is.
What Ren Fair isn't outdoors?
I'm sure there's one, like a Canadian one or something,
Why are you gonna throw Canada under the bus like that?
because it's a
They don't
winter
deserve it.
wonderland. But
No,
yeah,
everyone just looks like Jon
yeah,
Snow.
I haven't looked into that. But yeah, it's like, oh, it is Ren Fair time. So
Ren Fair out here is closer to the fall, so I have a little bit more time before I have to consider. But yeah, that's a good point. I didn't really think about Ren Fair. Oh, that means that we could wear beautiful masks.
yeah,
That would be fun.
there's gonna be a lot of plague masks if they do it and they require masks
Of course. I think there will be a lot of plague masks
in general.
regardless
Yeah.
at this point. 2020, the year of the plague mask.
But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully they do it. But that's one thing, a big summer thing that I always do and always have a lot of fun doing.
It's a good time. Hmm.
Yeah.
I think the one that like is the bigger one
Yeah.
um for me is that when this pandemic is over, I want to go to a convention. Like, I want to go to Dark Side of the Con for the Goth convention, or Dragon Con, or go on the Goth cruise, or something. I
Hmm.
want to be in the masses of nerds and hear good music and dance around and wear costumes.
Yeah. No. Well, every con. Well, I haven't heard if Dragon Con was officially canceled yet or not, but um, every con's
I
been
haven't heard
canceled.
anything. Dark Side of the Con has been postponed to September, but I think everyone's like that's gonna be canceled.
Yeah. I think.
We'll see. I'm not the bearer of news. Don't
Right.
hold me to it. I have no idea. Um, I am hopeful that we would be able to safely do that, but I am not sure what that would look like.
I know Wizard World is trying to go full digital, and I don't like that. Like if you're down, because I mean, going to a con, everyone has their own thing that they're into and they want to do. So if you like panels, I think it'll be great for you.
Mm.
But that's about the only demographic I could see being
But
interested.
that's literally no different than just logging into YouTube
Yeah.
and looking up a panel. Like, I think I, because I do enjoy panels, but I think it's part of a greater experience. It's part of, the adventure of finding your frickin' panel and taking pictures on your way there and grabbing a snack on your way back
Mm-hmm.
or a beer or whatever and hanging out with whoever, whatever character, Darth Vader smoking a cigarette, whatever it is. Like it's all part of the con experience, and I don't feel like you can take any piece of it and call it enough
Yeah.
um, to to cover the rest of the cultural experience. So,
Yeah. 'Cause
but that's just my 2 cents. I don't run any cons. My opinion doesn't matter.
your
So,
opinion does matter. It just may not
to
change anything.
who? Oh, all right, that's fair.
But
But yeah, I think that that cons in general, I miss it. I miss the idea of like costumes and partying with
mm-hmm.
friends and talking about nerdy things and seeing, for me, minor celebrities of like that have done this one thing that I love, and I'm like, oh my god,
Oh
the person,
yeah.
yay!
Yeah, that's
But yeah,
that's my big thing is I love to do the celebrity summit at any place. That's my jam.
that is your jam. I don't get it, but I support you. Like I like the like celebrity that does the panel and they talk about their experience or whatever, but I want to meet them.
Oh, I gotta meet them.
I know you do. I support you. I have a lot of friends that need to meet them, and I support all of you in your meeting of them. I will be over there drinking beer and hanging out in the vendor hall.
Hey, that's the great part about a con is you can do what you feel. There's so
Exactly.
much
So,
going on, especially at the good cons that yeah, you can always and yeah, I had this conversation with somebody recently and I was like, I don't think they could do a social distance one because I want to take pictures of people in cosplay. I want to, check out some artist stuff. I want to meet some comic book writers and talk to them about this issue that I really liked. And
yeah, and basically, in my personal opinion and experience, going and having seen quite a few cons, um, I feel like Denver Comic Con, I think it was 3 years ago, um, put some new practices in place that kind of like directed traffic in a very intentional way, and it sucked the fun out of it for me.
there's a lot wrong with Denver Comic Con.
But yeah, there was something that happened. I don't remember what, or I don't remember what that decision was. And I'm sure it was well intentioned, but I just remember being there and being like, this is dry. Like there were people in costume, but like it just felt so like structured and regimented, and I was like,
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping since they fully canceled this year, they maybe go back and retool things because it's been on a downswing for a while, attendance wise and
no.
general fun wise. So
Oh wow. Oh, I didn't know that,
yeah,
but
they're struggling a bit. Um, don't
well,
want to get
yeah,
too into
hopefully.
detail on it, but yeah, they're
Nope.
they're
Yeah.
struggling. But yeah, I mean, just
Well,
like Dragon Con was the same, or you can not the same that less fun, but like, the fun is being around people, and you go
mhm.
up and like, what's this line for? Should I be in this line? And you get in the
Yeah,
line.
exactly. I'm just gonna join this line, and then in 30 minutes after I'm done, like sitting and resting my feet, I'll find out what it's for.
Yep. That's oh, that'd be fantastic. I think one thing we're both missing and we would love to do is travel.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely miss the idea of safe travel.
Yeah. Uh,
Even driving, cross states, like it was fine. It didn't feel weird while I was driving, but anytime we stopped, it was like, are these new germs? I don't know. I don't know if it's safe.
yeah.
Um, So yeah, like it'd just be nice to be able to like fly somewhere
Yep.
and hang out.
Yeah, Norwegian cruise lines sends me almost daily things like this. Look at this great deal. Go ahead and book for 2021. Look at this, that, and the other. And they had one recently that was like their CEO or whoever talking about all the new measures they're taking to make sure everyone's safe. And it's like, even though I really want to do a cruise, it's on my bucket list. I don't see that happening. Not even in 2021 would I feel safe to be on a cruise. A flight is
Mm,
one thing, but a cruise
mm-mm.
is
I
the
feel the
whole.
exact same way about cruises and flights. Like a plane, I already like on a daily normal non-COVID basis felt that a plane was just a can of
Yep.
recirculated germs, sorry. Um, but like so now it's even more like cringy to me. And then a cruise, while at least there's the upper decks where you can like have fresh air, everywhere inside is like it's the same people locked in this one boat and they all touch things. And yeah, so me personally, I'm just like I don't know when I'm gonna feel good about a cruise again, but I want to go on the Goth cruise for sure. I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't done it. Um, super super fun, like super fun. Um, but I hope that there's a way to feel safe on them again
Yeah.
in the future.
Uh,
Because right now it's not even safety right now. Right now it's like I'm never gonna have money to go on a cruise again. Are you kidding me?
there is that too. That is a major factor.
Yeah.
I mean,
But one day,
one day.
looking towards the horizon and hoping that there's a world that's not World War III or Civil War II, that is when we can enjoy all of these things again.
Absolutely. So yeah,
And
looking bright to the future.
yeah, and if any of you have things that you're looking forward to, please send them to us because I would love to know what other people are looking forward to so that I can add them to my like hopeful
Yeah.
list. It's very selfish of me. It's really I just want to know what you're thinking so that I can hope along with you.
Yeah, here's some different things. Because me and you have a lot of the same. We're very similar. So we have like our lists are pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah, they are. It's really funny.
So yeah, let us know what you think, what looking forward to, and when you think that could happen. All that fun stuff. Let us know.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and move on to our distractions. What we've been distracting ourselves with all week to avoid COVID-19
And the world
in the
outside.
world.
I've just been like working a lot, but also trying not to work a lot. So more decorating, trying to make my space since I'm not going outside like at all anymore, trying to um, make it comfortable. I'm trying to distract myself with the usual movies, TV shows, Preacher. I just remembered that that kept going after I stopped watching the first season. So I was like, oh, sweet. So rewatching that, wrapping up some seasons of, Rick and Morty and What We Do in the Shadows, um, the usual
The
stuff,
usual.
I think. Yeah. What about you?
Well, got a lot of the band stuff going. I spent a couple days editing our first music video, and that was
Oh yeah,
fun.
that was funny.
So that was 2-3 hours of just sitting and editing.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh,
I like editing video, but it does take time.
yeah, especially because we didn't shoot. If you see the video, we didn't shoot anything together. This is all done in individual green screens. So at a given point, we have like 6 to 7 layers on the video, and my
Oh
computer's just like,
wow.
"Oh no, I can't no." So you try and watch it back, and it's just like a picture book.
Oh man, that is hardcore.
So that was a big one. The other part is a bit of a sadder distraction of just uh, paying attention to everything going on to make sure I am abreast of things and um, make sure or finding out what I can do and what I can do to support. I've been trying to tell people that are like on the fringes to at least give them a list of movies to watch, and maybe that will you know push you to get involved. Finding ways people can get involved. A really great one that I thought of with my friend Fiona is her and her boyfriend's kids made sandwiches for the protest, and because they didn't feel safe going to the protests. And so I took the sandwiches, and after everyone was marching for 2 hours, they can come back to the Capitol and get a free sandwich. And
Oh, that's so
that
cool.
went over
I love
really
that.
well, so that was really fun. Um, so yeah, it's a bit of a sadder one, but it definitely is a distraction. But I think there is levels of hope on that though too that are nice. Different states are outlawing no knock orders.
Breonna Taylor's law.
Yep, there are states that are finally outlawing the weird rule where you're allowed to have sex with people you have in custody as long as it's
Oh my
quote
God.
consensual.
Oh my Lord.
So I think there's movement in a right direction. How long it takes to get there and what that looks like is it's yet to say, because even though there are some laws that can be changed, this isn't like the 60s where there's straight laws that are like these Jim Crow laws, get rid of these Jim Crow laws. Now it's a cultural and societal change. Not to get too in
Hmm.
depth with it, but
No,
that's
yeah, yeah. I mean, we have our very special
yeah.
episode that you can listen to hear more about our thoughts there. But I think you're right. I think that it it does provide distraction from some of the, uh, although it's like distraction and amplification of economic stress
Mm-hmm.
because of COVID. Um, but there is this distraction piece where it's like I have something that I need to do now,
Yeah.
um, and and it's important to me or whatever it is, and I think that that's great. Um, I hope that it's helpful to people to have something to be thinking about and focusing on, focusing their energy on. I think that's really positive. Um, and yeah, just keep educating yourself and keep fighting. I think the education is huge.
Yeah.
I think that that's a big, big, big piece, because I'm still seeing the opposite in so many places, and I'm just hearing more and more and more cases of egregious acts against people that are fueled by racism unquestionably, and it's discouraging to see that,
Yeah.
but I think that it's a good, it's not good in any way, but I think that it is, um, something that can help, uh, like,
Focus you.
well, I won't like boost, like give a boost to the people that maybe haven't taken action
Yeah.
yet, where it's like these things are happening more now because people are feeling emboldened by leadership, and we need you. Like this isn't like a, like, oh, if it's convenient, whatever, but like if you believe in this, then we need help. Like, I don't feel comfortable walking outside by myself. That's a
Yeah.
problem. Um, but yeah, anyway.
Anywho, yeah, not to get down that because we'll have another 3 hour episode, but yeah, that's been a big, I guess, distraction from COVID, but
Hmm.
not really distraction from the world. Distraction from the world. I just started watching Stargirl, and it is fantastic.
Hmm.
When it hits Netflix, I highly suggest you watch it.
Hmm. Okay. I will
It's got
consider
Joel
doing
McHale
so.
in it.
Where did he go? He like disappeared for a hot minute. I totally forgot about him. Not to say that he's worth forgetting about, just like he was on my radar and then I just realized that he went off my radar for a hot minute.
So yeah, that's been my distractions.
Cool.
So let's move into our favorite part of the podcast. Only in a pandemic.
Do do do. And major civil unrest.
All right, I got stories if we're gonna add that are kind of funny. So yeah, stories that can only hand. God, hold on. Okay, I needed that. So stories that can only happen in a pandemic and apparently in massive civil unrest.
Yay. So for me this week, my only in a pandemic thing is that only in a pandemic and a time of major civil unrest do I actually use Twitter. Like I actually look at Twitter every day. I refresh it. I check what's going on in my city. I check out what's going on in the cities where my friends are. Like I actually use the dang thing. It's wild.
Yeah, it's even though it's a cesspool,
It is a
it can
cesspool.
be helpful though too.
Well, yeah, it's definitely helpful for especially like things like Robert Fuller, like
Mm-hmm.
where the media isn't covering it. Um, it's helpful to get that sort of information and see where things are at. Of course, you see some awful, awful things. And apparently, I'm a threat to the president.
I was gonna bring that up. Yeah.
That was a fun night where I was like just chilling, minding my own business. I had retweeted something that someone had said, um, and I mentioned that uh, maybe to keep America safe, we should keep the wall up that the president built around himself and set it on fire so that he can't cross it. that was that was my I had retweeted something and that was my comment, and these right wing people started retweeting it all over the place, and like there was one tweet where they actually said like tagged the FBI and was like, this person is a threat to the president of the United States, and I was like this is hilarious.
I think that should be your official nickname now. Luna, threat to the president, Minui.
I'll take it. It was really funny. I was like, are you serious that you think that me I don't even leave my house. I don't even want to see him with my eyes.
Right?
I don't want my eyes to be tainted with the vision of the actual president's body in his weird leaning Tower of Pisa stance. I just don't
just
understand.
just a normal day in a guy that stands completely normal.
Oh my god. Anyway, so yes, I've been using Twitter, and yes, apparently right wing people want to dox me, I guess. I don't know. It's really funny, but I deleted the tweet just so that I could sleep.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta throw something out there, then mute.
Yeah, I guess so. God, that was wild.
That's crazy. Well,
What about you?
mine, we'll go closer to civil unrest. Is two protesters do standing drills for the military.
What?
So there's a great video. This was last week in Washington D.C., where the National Guard was deployed, and maybe we did talk about this last week. Oh
I
well,
don't
I'll do
think
it again.
so.
Anyways, so the protesters were outlasting the National Guard, and they were starting to kind of lax.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah.
And yeah, so there's a great video of a guy like running drills on them, one of the protesters, and like, "Hey, shore up this line, get together. I could get right through here. Bring this right in." And along with that, there's another one of a guy like camera right in the guy's face, is like, "Don't laugh. Your staff sergeant's right behind you. Don't laugh. Don't do it. Don't laugh." And the guy's like trying not to crack up. He's like, "Okay, he's cool. He's gone. He's away. You can laugh now."
Yeah, it's some weird times. But I guess, yeah, we have a lot of stories of only in a time like this because it is truly unique.
It is insane. Yeah, it's the civil unrest of 68, the plague of 1918, and the financial crisis of 1929, all in
Hmm.
1 year.
Yay, 2020.
Oh boy. So yeah, let's finish this up with our hermit level on a level of 10 being Howard Hughes and collecting your pee in jars and never seeing the outside world, and a first level of being the Wolf of Wall Street at a level 1, and you're out and about doing drugs and sleeping with hookers and doing all the things. Where are you at on your hermit level?
I would say I'm a solid 9.5. There are
Uh
no pee jars anywhere. I have a toilet for that. Thank you very much. But I am also not leaving my house at all. So, except for that drive, south and then back. Like, I'm just inside and this is where I live now. And that's what it has to be. So, and as far and like I'm very very thankful to any friends that have been checking up on me. I really really appreciate it. Um I I don't want you to stop, but at the same time, like, I don't want to talk to humans. But I do appreciate getting those messages of like, you're thinking of me. Awesome. Thank you. I like knowing that I exist in the world. But I haven't been in the mood for like holding a conversation. This podcast is like maxed out. Like after this I'm going to bed.
was gonna say you're gonna take a nap after this.
100%. Yeah, I am. What about you? What's your rating?
Probably a 3. I've been out and about. I've been the band stuff. We've been all together. We've been recording videos, and we're doing the stream tonight. And then I've also been at the protests. Mostly actually kind of avoiding people, but still being there and supporting. And yeah, walking 10 miles that I did last Saturday.
That's awesome.
So
Walking 10 miles sounds so good right now.
um,
Yeah, that's really great. I am happy to hear that you've been flittering like a little social butterfly.
so yeah, that's where we're at.
Yeah, I think I do want to mention, so I started seeing a therapist again this week, which I mean, we've only had one meeting, so I can't say that it's mind blowing or anything, but it does feel good to be intentional about um, like actually getting help.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to encourage anybody. I saw something today where a lot of providers are waiving their copay for psychological sorts of care. I saw a lot of providers on the list, but I did not see Anthem, so you might want to look it up if you have Anthem. Um, but the others like Aetna and all
Mm-hmm.
those other ones,
Blue
uh,
Cross.
yeah, I think they're all waiving fees. So look into that and seek out some care because you probably need it. I think everybody right now needs some help.
Yeah.
But if you are struggling, you're not alone. And yeah,
Yeah, and that
look
ties
into it.
back into our episode 2 weeks ago now. An earlier episode of the second wave
Oh, the
being
second wave being
mental
mental
health.
health. Oh yeah, I guess it does. Look at that.
Aha!
I
It all
I don't
comes
remember.
together.
I don't remember anything prior,
It's,
like last
it's the
week.
Goth and the Sloth cinematic universe.
Oh my god. But yeah, so social media stuff. Where can they find you, Matt?
Oh, you switching it up on us.
Uh-huh. Yep.
So I am wizard underscore Matt on Twitter. I've been incredibly active lately, just like Luna. I'm also wizard cosplay on Instagram. Less likely there. Haven't been in the picture taking mood, but
Mm-mm.
You can find my YouTube channel, Matt the Pharaoh Wizard. I just did a couple drunk unboxings. If you need 10 minutes away from the world and you want to watch a drunk asshole, I can provide that for you. And my band is Leonardo Leonardo. You can find us Leonardo Leonardo Band on whatever um, thing you want to see us on. Bandcamp, SoundCloud, all that fun stuff. Where can people
Yay!
find you and or us?
So you can find me at Luna_Minuit, so that's Luna_MINUIT at Instagram, Twitter, um, just those two. And then for us, the Goth and the Sloth podcast, you can find us at Goth and Sloth on Twitter and Instagram. And we really want to hear your thoughts and ideas. I haven't been posting on the Instagram lately because I'm just not in the damn mood.
That's fair.
But, um, eventually maybe. I don't know.
And also, it's on Gmail too. If you want to send us an email.
Yeah, send us your emails and send us like ideas for episodes and stuff. That'd be awesome.
So yeah, I think that'll do it for another episode of the Goth and the Sloth.
All right, wash your hands.
And stay home unless you're tearing down the system.
Then go outside. But wear a mask.